Let's sew the perimeter. We're sewing about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge, top stitching. I am where my opening is, where we pushed everything through. So I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna do a little reverse stitch to make sure that's secured. Then I'm just making sure that everything is folded under in place. This is where that one side of the opening is. So I'm gonna do a little back stitch over that. Make sure that's folded nice and tight. Here is the other side of my opening. Good little back stitch around that. Then I'm just gonna keep working my way around. I drop my needle so I can rotate a little bit. Okay, keep sewing the perimeter all the way around, and then I'll show you what the next step is. Last step, perimeter is all done. Grab yourself some wooden spoons and make sure that you're gonna be able to fit that spoon in here. So this spoon is a really thin handle, but this one is a really thick handle. So it depends on what you've got. You wanna make sure that if you wrap this around, you're able to slide that spoon in and out. If you look at the bottom of our U shape where we cut out, if we line up this with that bottom of that U shape, then that should be no problem to get the spoons to slide in and out. So you want to take and fold these over, and then we're going to stitch this down to secure that. Let me get these spoons out of the way. So I'm just going to hold that in place. We're going to bring that in, and we're going to stitch that down to secure that. So I've just got that lined up with that bottom of the edge there. I'm gonna stitch right where I did my stay stitching line or my perimeter stitching. Do a little back tack there to make sure that those edges stay held good. Make sure you have a good blending thread in. So I've got a cream in my bobbin right now, so then that's not super obvious. And then same thing here, I'm gonna do a good back stitch on that. Then my needle's up. I'm gonna flip this one over. So I'm just gonna drag to where I want to start this one. Do a good back stitch, beginning and end here. Then I can stop here, trim my threads, flip it around to this other half. Same thing, I'm just gonna fold that. So where this fold is matching with the bottom part of our half circle there. Back stitch good in the beginning. Back stitch good at the end. My needle's up, so I can just slide that. Make sure that's lined up there. That looks great. Back stitch good at the beginning. Back stitch good at the end. Perfect. Then, let me slide this out of the way. The last thing you would need to do is put your casserole carrier in here, your 9x13 carrier. Fold these over and figure out where that overlap is, and then you want to add a strip of Velcro, that strip of Velcro here and here. So then that Velcro is holding those together for you. But then when you bring these two edges up, you should be able to slide. Oh, see, this spoon isn't long enough. That's why they said at least a 13-inch spoon. This one's not quite long enough, but you should be able to slide those spoons through to hold all of that. Let me think how they did that. I saw it on the video. So you should be able to fit a spoon through that's gonna hold both of these edges together, and then a spoon through going this way that will hold these together for you. And that way you can grab these spoons, and there is your casserole carrier. So I hope you enjoyed making this with me. Stick around because I'm gonna load some more fabric on the frame, and I'm gonna do these a little more economically instead of just one at a time, because remember, I only needed 53 inches for the top fabric to be able to stitch this all out, and I have my 12-foot frame. So I'm gonna put 108-inch wide fabric on there, and I'm gonna put two next to each other, so I'll have two of the same files open next to each other, and that way I'll be able to do both of them stitched out at the same time. It'll be a little trickier with the drag and drop, but I'm pretty sure I can make it work because we know where it ended, and all we had to do was get our needle exactly on that ending point and where that new start is gonna come in, and that's where we're dragging forward. So I'm gonna try to load on my long arm to do 4 of these all at one time with that 108-inch wide fabric. I should have plenty. So stick around and watch a little bit of that video. If you have questions, please put them in the comments below. You can also email us, info@quiltingconnection.com. You can call us 262-723-6775. I really appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel and share this out with a fellow quilter that they might be searching for a gift or a present. This doesn't necessarily have to be a Christmas present. This could be just a gift, you know, for a birthday or any type of occasion like that. So I'm personally making them for Christmas, but it doesn't need to be a Christmas or a holiday present. It could be for anything. Again, I appreciate your time for watching. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy quilting.